What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm wrapping up the prejudging from the 2020 Arnold Classic Physique prejudging, and it's a great one. We've got three competitors between Steve Laureus, Alex Cabanero, and also Terence Ruffin. Got the prejudging first call out for you guys, and I'm going to analyze it and review it. It's all coming up in this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, desktopers? Now, before we get into this video, I want to encourage you guys to, if you appreciate and like this content, please smash that thumbs up, that like button. Also subscribe and hit that notification bell button. That way you'll be updated with every bit of 2020 Arnold Classic news coming from this weekend, because I'm smashing out a ton of content this weekend. So I hope you guys really enjoy that. So make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification bell button. Anyway, let's launch into this because it's a good top three. These three guys really did battle it out, and it's almost a bit of a surprise because many came into this expecting that Steve Laureus would come out on top. It almost seemed like a foregone conclusion from many people, but that is not the case. So let's launch into this and a few of the comparisons. So when you first see these guys on stage doing their front relaxed, Steve Laureus is doing this sort of, I don't know if he did this last year, he's doing this sort of one hand on the hip, his other arm isn't even tensed up, and his conditioning doesn't look great straight up when you first see him here. He has added the necessary size, but the conditioning isn't really great. Now, Terence Ruffin on the left, now he's probably the smallest of the three, but still very crazy proportions in this pose, maybe the second hardest guy on stage. Behind Alex Cabanero, who's on the right-hand side, will get moved to middle as well. And Alex Cabanero in that front relax is by far the most impressive to me. He's basically got a vacuum in that front relax, but you still see his abs, sweeping quads, massive shoulder to waist ratio, just absolute craziness. And Neil Hill actually preps two of these guys. He preps Steve Laureus and Alex Cabanero. But for me, Alex definitely is better there than Steve, in my opinion, at least in that first pose. So let's go through a few of these shots. So the first pose they move into is that front double bicep, where Steve Laureus is typically, that's his pose. So straight up, you see the shape of him and you're like, yep, you got the round quads, you got the crazy arms, you got the small waist. He looks great. That's by far his best shot. But even in this shot, in my opinion, Alex Cabanero is really challenging him. And these guys all have tremendous front double biceps, but I just think the conditioning of Alex Cabanero really does push him up in with this pose. And that's straight after this pose, that's when they moved Alex into the middle, as you guys can see here. So then they go straight into the side chest, and this one is just an absolute foregone conclusion for me. It's by far Alex Cabanero's pose. He just looks supreme in this pose. He looks so balanced. Terence Ruffin, when he hits this side chest, really does sort of fade, in my opinion. He doesn't look as thick. He doesn't look thick enough, and apparently he's only just weighing in under the weight limit, which is surprising as well for me, because he just looks like he needs a bit more tricep or something, a bit more shoulders to sort of fill that pose out properly. Now you look at Steve Laureus on the right, and his chest almost looked a little bit flat and just didn't have the details it needed. And I saw this a day or two out when they put a photo up in the gym of him hitting him most muscular, and I'm like, the lines just aren't coming through the chest, but I thought maybe that's water and maybe that will come out. It obviously hasn't. His arms are huge, but his chest really does lack on this pose. And for me, this is an easy win on this pose for Alex Cabanero. Now let's move into the back shots. We've got a back double bicep here, and this is another hands down pose for Alex Cabanero. Now he has the development over both these guys in the back. Now Terence Ruffin has a very good back. I cannot take that away from him. But I just think Alex Cabanero has bigger arms, more balanced for his overall physique. And Steve Laureus is a clear third from here. His back just isn't as wide as these other two dudes, and he just isn't as hard from the back there. So this is easily 1, 2, 3, Alex Cabanero, Terence Ruffin, and then Steve Laureus in third. Let's go into the side tricep. Now, I believe also that that Alex Cabanero wins this one in a very close one, I'd say, against Terence Ruffin, who I really love his side tricep pose and the variation he does on that. So, but Alex Cabanero, when he hits that last part of that side tricep, he just looks absolutely insane. Then they move into the ab shots. Now, all these guys have tremendous ab shots. You know, it's classic physique. It is what it is, you know. But I think Steve Laureus, without the conditioning, doesn't look near as good here. Alex Cabanero looks sensational. Terence Ruffin looks sensational. And yeah, that sort of makes for a bit of a close one between the top two there, in my opinion. And later on, the top two, who I assume will be the top two, I'm assuming it's not because Steve Laureus is winning this show. Alex Cabanero and Terence Ruffin actually got called out by themselves at the end. So that suggests to me that they're 1-2, unless they think Steve Laureus is that good that he should be easily winning. But I don't think that is the case. So we'll go into their favorite classic pose. And now I think, again, Alex Cabanero wins this as well. It's the most impressive pose. Steve Laureus normally looks great in his classic pose, but it just doesn't suit him as well here without the conditioning. And I think that's just a powerful pose. That Arnold pointing pose from Alex Cabanero just looks sensational on him. And Terence Ruffin, his side tricep is good, but it just doesn't match what Alex is presenting on stage there. So in my opinion, it should go Alex Cabanero in first, Terence Ruffin in second, and Steve Laureus in third place in the classic physique. Touching on the women's physique briefly as well, Natalia Coelho, she looks sensational. I think she's going to be a clear winner in the women's physique. She looks like she's actually put on a little bit of size across the shoulders, and her shoulder to waist ratio is just absolutely out of this world insane. So I think she's going to tie up the women's physique title here and take home an Arnold Classic title in the women's physique. They also had Figueron as well, and I believe they had another division too, but I'm just going to delve into these two for now and leave you guys with that. And then we've got the finals coming up for these divisions as well. I'm not sure if they're tonight or tomorrow or exactly how that plays out, but I'm going to be covering all that all over the weekend, guys. And after this video, I'm going to be checking all that out. So make sure, if you guys want to stay up to date with all this content, click the subscription button, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up this weekend from myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding. All the love and support is much appreciated, guys. So thank you so much for that. So for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.